We are good, mate. Ready to roll. Jack's back.
Boom, we're back from Brazil. I don't need these on.
I don't think so.
We're back. We're bruised. But our spirits are not damp.
Not broken.
No, we're not broken. We're just bruised. Yeah, good back. Good to be back. Nice to be home. Living a bit of a normal life again. I think that's the one thing like we kind of look forward to after a fight, about realising we're looking forward to it, is your life kind of goes from being insane fight week to like just back to being dad and Jack for a couple of weeks. Yeah.
What was it like just in general in Brazil then? Like, was it like hostile towards you?
No, do you know what? It was the fucking polar opposite of what I thought it was going to be. Like, I went to Sao Paulo a couple of years ago, and it was a shite trip. Like, it was couldn't leave the hotel. It was rough, shit hotel. Just was a long week. Like, that was when Marshman fought. But the hotel was probably, in terms of like UFC fights, the nicest hotel I've ever stayed at with him. Pool on the beach, brilliant accommodation, I gotta be honest.
Your old man like it?
Oh man, loved the pool.
Did he?
Loved him and Carl. Give him a bit of sun in the pool, but they're anyone's. And you know what? I had so many interactions with Brazilian fans all week at the hotel. I had them coming up to me like, Jack Shaw, coming with like I was having pictures with him through the week. Really respectful, wishing me all the best tonight. Really, wish you good luck. Then after the fight, fast forward to after the fight, I had to give you a bit of shit on the way out, but that's by the by. On the way out of the cage, as I came out of the cage, I had like a standing ovation. You kind of walk back. You got like the walkout path. The walkout is on the other side of the arena, and the two rows there, like standing over, all calling me. I must have had 30 pictures on the way out to the cage with kids and not even pictures, like Brazilian men, like shaking you and pulling you in and giving you like an hug and being like, oh, warrior, and fucking, wish that fight carried on and stuff. And then back in the hotel afterwards was the same, like people like giving you a nod of respect and a handshake on the way out to the hotel. Completely opposite to what I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be hostile on the way out. I thought it'd be hostile all week. No one want to see no one, but I had it all wrong.
I thought it'd be like that as well.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I had it all wrong.
Because they're savage on Instagram anyway. I don't know if you've seen them.
Yeah. The walkout was obviously hostile, but I didn't take none notice of none of that anyway. So yeah, I gotta be fair, polar opposite to how I expected it to be.
Yeah. What about the fight then? Like, obviously, the result is the result now. It's happened.
The fight, it was kind of how I thought he would come out. I thought he would come out aggressive. I knew he would try and chop the leg. I think people, I had some, and I've had loads of fucking, not loads, I've had a couple of fucking idiots message me, like, straight after the fight, retire, learn to check leg kicks, someone said. And I'm like, well, if you watch the fight, I check pretty much every kick. And if you watch the actual cut, that comes from a perfect check, bone on bone. That's one thing I want to touch on, is just morons messaging people after the fight. Someone told me someone messaged me, fuck you, F-bomb. If you're not the other F, I won't say it because we'll get fucking flagged. Fuck you, F-bomb, go die, retire. Someone called me a bitch. And and I'm like, mate, you sat in your house, you little sado, like calling a pro fight. Like, come pop to the gym and see if I'm a bitch. And I tell you what, let me smash my shin into your shin. Yeah. And let's see how you fare. But fight-wise, yeah. I mean, I thought the kicks, I was feeling the kicks in there, but I also knew that I was catching a lot. One or two stung. You've seen the one catch me as I went to shoot a takedown. But I didn't need to switch stance. It didn't kick me off my feet at all. Never once did I feel like the kick was going to put me down. Caught a lot of shin on shin. And I knew his foot was hurting as well because he was looking to wrestle. I'm not by any means saying I was winning the fight. Lost the first round. I know that. Second round, he probably was edging, but I could feel the tide not turning, but I could feel him getting tired. That's why I was so keen to keep him working in the clinch. I was happy with him clinching me because I could feel him getting tired. I could hear his breathing sort of getting heavier. I was landing a couple of knees in the clinch, and I could hear his breathing go in, and I could feel him. I could naturally feel him. He was strong as an ox in the first round. In the second, I could feel the strength kind of going down a little bit. So, it would have been nice to have had a third round. Who's to say what could have happened? That's not me saying, I 100% would have finished him in the third. But I would have liked to have seen a third round. I would have liked to been given a chance to have a third round. You know, fight is fight at the end of the day. Yeah. And that's what I was saying after the fight. Like, you've a shit ref and a shit doctor deprived me of the chance. Like not to say is a guarantee I was going to finish, but we'll never know now, will we? Because I didn't get a chance.
No, and for you and for him, I'm sure, like, obviously it's a win on his record, so he's probably a bit happy about it. But going forward, like, you can't look at that and think, you know...
I don't know, he looked pretty happy afterwards, didn't he?
He did look pretty happy afterwards.
He was on the cage celebrating. And
I suppose.
You know,
but yeah, I suppose.
I'm sure he would have obviously preferred a decisive win, wouldn't he?
Maybe because he was thinking, well, I was winning up to that point, maybe that's what he's happy
but
with.
That's not a knock on him, I don't suppose. It's like...
He was good, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean? You can't...
He was. Like, look, my leg's black.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he didn't damage my leg. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the leg kicks didn't have an effect. Of course they did. Like, my fucking leg's black. But it wouldn't have been in no worse a shape after the third round.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It didn't need to be stopped. Like, since when... Like, so this is my spin on it. The ref has called a stop to the fight to look at the cut. No, the cut is not affecting the fight because it's not causing the canvas to be slippy because the canvas is a boxing canvas. It's not causing me to not be able to stand up. It's not like my leg have snapped and I've had to sit down. It's not blood going in my eyes. There's a minute and a half left of the round. So, I don't name no names. I spoke to a referee afterwards who was like, he should have let the fight get to the end of the round so that the cut...
It was weird, wasn't it?
So that the cutman... What the procedure should be is that you let the cut's not obstructing the fight, nor affecting the fight. So you let the fight go to the end of the round. You let the cutman work it, and then you let the doctor check in between rounds after the cutman has worked the cut. You know, if someone gets opened up above the eyebrow and they get to the end of the round, you don't bring the doctor straight in. You know, you get your minute rest. The cutman works the cut, and then the doctor comes and inspects the cut. That's how it should have gone.
It would also it looked worse when the blood was running down it. But, you know, like after he'd stuck his thumb in, like it looked like it stopped for it.
What? Why was he sticking his fucking thumb in anyway?
I don't know, it was odd, wasn't it?
You don't stick your thumb in a... Like, obviously I'm going to fucking flinch if you sticking your finger in a cut. You know, like, this is what I think. I think the doctor shit himself is what I think. The doctor shit himself because he came in and called the fight off. My old man is kicking off, saying it's a fucking cut shin. The cutman was kicking off, saying, like, I can stop the bleeding. Now, all right, he by rules, he's not allowed to come in and stop the bleeding mid-round, but if I got, he's like, I could have stopped the bleeding. And I think he's panicked, knows he's fucked up, and has gone, oh, fractured, it's fractured.
Trying to cover himself.
So then, like, the cutman and the ref going, oh, it's fractured. And I'm like, how can it be fractured? I'm walking on it. You know what I mean? I walked out of the cage.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't want to sound like, I'm not trying to be a sore loser by any means. I just would have liked to have had a chance to finish the fight.
Yeah, well, win or lose, and you'd rather know yourself,
win or lose. Yeah, like, so anyway, to move it on, they sent us to the hospital. They think you got an open fracture, which basically means the bone is snapped outwards and that's cut the skin. So at which point I'm thinking, well, if that has happened, you know what I mean? If that has happened, maybe they did that because they're talking about fucking surgery and this and that in the ambulance. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm going to be in Brazil another week now to have surgery on my leg and this and that. Get in the hospital, bandage me up, put me in a brace. We're going to take you for an x-ray. So I'm down in this x-ray bed now, like it's just assuming the worst. So I shout to my old man, because no one can speak English. I was like, what's fucking going on? He's like, no fracture. And I was like, what do you mean no fracture? And he's like, there's no fracture. So I was like, right, great. Takes me out. You need to have a bone scan. Then the UFC doctor overrules, like, he doesn't need to have a bone scan. He said, number one, there's no fracture. He said, so we don't need to bone scan him now, because if we bone scan him and there's a chip, then we've got to deal with that now. He said, at the minute, it's not a fracture. We can put him on the plane and he can do this at home. So anyway, they fucking stitched me up. That wasn't fun, mind.
No, I bet.
They give me anaesthetic on a drip, which kind of helped a little bit. So they put 4 needles in the outside of my shin, which was all right in the flesh, and they put 2 needles like literally on the shin bone.
I bet because there's like nothing to work with there, is there?
It was on the bone, and that was painful. stitched me up anyway, and they've kind of said, look, the verdict now then is obviously 2 weeks to let the stitches heal. I can't have any contact, so I can't, or any impact to the leg. I can't run because of the, you know what I mean? And I can't spar for 6 weeks because of how thin the skin is on your shin. It could open back up, or it could also get infected. And with the muscle on the calf obviously being swollen at the minute, they said we kind of need that to go down, and you will need to they'll sort it for me, but I'll need to make a decision on whether I think that needs further looking at.
Yeah.
But gut feeling on the calf is it's just bruised and swollen from the kicks. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the leg wasn't compromised, but it wasn't compromised enough where the fight had to be stopped. You know what I mean?
I was watching Fight Disciples last night. Nick Pete, Adam Catterall, and they were saying how much of an injustice it was.
Yeah.
They think you should run it back in July in Manchester, but obviously the shin probably...
Yeah, so just to give context, I've got a 30-day suspension anyway because of the stitches. The doctor, like I just said, the doctor told me probably best not to spar for the next 4 weeks. Number one, I'm not going to want to get kicked in the leg for 4 weeks anyway because it's probably going to fit. And number two, I don't want the stitches opening back up and run the risk of infection or whatever.
That's quick as well.
Manchester's not going to happen. I'm probably looking at, what are we now? I'm looking at probably September, October now. I'm want to get another fight in this year, but I'm not in a rush to rush back. I want to, spend some time with the family, enjoy the summer a little bit. October would be ideal, I think. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the injury goes. They're not going to run it back. I mean, I appreciate the boys saying that they're not going to run it back because by running it back, they acknowledge that they fucked the ref, the doctor fucked up.
True. Yeah.
So they're not going to do that. They're going to probably push Brito on to get a ranked fight, which he deserves. I think 5-fight win streak finishes, although be it, whatever. It is what it is. I'm not going to sound like a salty little bitch over it, but it is what it is, Joe,
Yeah, well, it's to be honest, mate.
I was pissed at the world for about 2 days.
Yeah.
I was angry at the world. I thought, it's always me. Just feels like it's always me. Feels like we don't rain the pause, If it's not a fucking hand injury, it's a mad stoppage. When we've ever seen a split on the shin stop a fight, it just feels like it's always something with me lately. It's just want a bit of a... In fighting terms, I got a lot to be grateful for outside of fighting, but in fighting terms, I just feel like I could do a bit of a rub of the green, if that makes sense.
Do you feel like, because obviously, the amateur and the pro, you had this massive rise and whatever, and maybe this is just part of your path now, isn't it? And then you never know what's going to happen in the future, do you? It's still to be written. So
it's definitely it's obviously a journey of up and downs.
Yeah,
there'll be more wins, there'll be more losses. I'm sure there maybe a couple of fucking draws chipped in there, but it's just it's like when the chips are on, when everything's on top of you, it's kind of you just feel like the world's against you. But I've never been one of a victim mentality, and I'm not going to start now. It's just like I said, I just think it would have. I don't want to keep saying it, but it would have been nice to have got a third round. But what can you fucking? Yeah,
you can't hold on to it, can you?
No, it was it was a crazy week. It was it felt so good fight week. My weight cut, I can't begin to tell you how good a weight cut it was. It was best shape I've ever felt and been in physically. I had fucking abs at the photo shoot.
Yeah.
Cut, I won't say how much I cut, but I had a very comfortable weight cut. Did it all in the morning. And then I had such a good fight week, and then fight day, I woke up and I just had this fucking nervousness and anxiety that I never, ever, ever had in 30-odd fights, amateur and pro. I think, was that my 30th fight? 31st fight. I've never had anxiety that bad. To the point where I barely ate all day. To the point where I had to... I was in the room on my own at points, and I had to fucking sit on the edge of the bed and calm myself down. I don't know if it was because he was a big power puncher, if it was because I was in Brazil and I felt a lot of pressure, if I felt it was away from home, if that was a dangerous fight. I don't know what it was. I can't pinpoint what it was.
Is it having a son as well, maybe now?
I think that definitely played a factor. I think in my head I was thinking, fuck me, if I get starched out by you, he's going to see that in years to come. Do you know what I mean? But honestly, I had to sit there and compose I end up watching the Six Nations series on Netflix.
Yeah.
I ended up watching about 4 episodes of that on a day, just to take my mind off it, because every time I'd think about it, I'd be like in a sweat, working myself up, really stressed. And then because it was a late fight, we didn't fight till about 11 p.m. We went to the venue. We left the venue at 7:30. I remember it was about fucking 6 o'clock. My old man had gone for food, and he come in the room, and I was like, fucking hell, Dad. I was like, talk me through what we're going to do here. I was like, talk me through, reiterate the game plan to me. I was like, my fucking nerves are shot to bits. And he kind of just like give me a bit of a pep talk and a positive talk, and it calmed me down a little bit. And I was like, right, fucking relax a little bit. You know what I mean? Don't, like, you're working yourself up, and you don't know where you're working yourself up over, because then I haven't been in this situation before. If I was going to be like this, it should have been for the last fight, coming off a loss and moving up a weight category. Do you know what I mean? This one, fighting a fucking Brazilian in Brazil, they flew me over there to fucking lose anyway, if we're being honest about it. And the pressure was kind of off. And I composed myself, had a bit of food, got to the venue. They drug tested me, which is wild, because the shape on some of them fucking Brazilians, of all the ones they drug tested me. And then the warm-up couldn't have gone better. It couldn't have gone better. The warm-up was really good. I felt like a calmness come over me. Like, I had my hands wrapped, started warming up, started watching the fights, and I felt like this calmness come over me, and it was just like, it was as if like my mind had been put to rest, and I just
back in your groove.
I had like an epiphany of like, you fucking all right, you're gonna prove them all wrong now. And felt good on a walkout. I remember being in the cage. Like, it's the most present I've been in a fight for a long time. I can remember everything pretty much. And I felt good in there. Yeah, the kicks. I although I was checking the kicks, I should have done I could have done with not taking so many of them. But like, he continues this big power punch. He was throwing these bombs, and I was seeing them all come in. Like, if you watch the fight, I watched the fight back yesterday, and I don't think he landed a clean shot upstairs. Maybe landed one right hand. And I was taking everything on the gloves. I was moving my head. He was landing good kicks, in all fairness to him. I felt really, really good, like, present. Which is why I was thinking, right, if I can just drag him deep now, let's see what we can do. I landed a couple of jabs, some good right hands, landed an head kick. Again, not saying I was winning the fight by any means, but it's the calmest I felt in a long time. And I was growing in confidence as the fight was going, But yeah, I've lost my train of thought. I had something to say, but my train of thought had gone somewhere. But I felt really calm in there, Like, I felt really fucking at ease and at peace. I think I was at peace of, like, when I got in there, I think I was at peace of, like, well, whatever will be you. And unfortunately, it ended the way it did. That's
it, mate. Well, fair play to you, because fucking hell, there's not many people in the world who's going to go over there and do that. So, I suppose you just got to take it on the chin, and it is what it is, and just roll forward with life now, isn't it?
It's part of the game.
I'm sure everyone around, like, it's like me, instantly my thoughts, fucking hell, I'd love to see you be able to run it back.
And I just want to highlight as well, I know I harped on at the beginning about, like, the fucking wankers messaging me shit, and I gotta remember that that's what they are trolls, like, because for those probably 6 or 7 shitty messages or comments I've had hundreds of positive comments, and I mean, I've done a really bad job, to be honest, of replying to people, because I've wanted to, I've got home and I've wanted to just spend time with my boy and my missus and my mother and the family. I don't want to be like, have my head elsewhere. I've had a week away. I just want to focus on being with them for a couple of weeks. So I do apologise if you've messaged me and I haven't got back to you, but I have seen them and I do appreciate them. And that's like Facebook comments, Instagram comments. Everyone's been really nice and really uplifting. You know what I mean? I think everyone has been. It doesn't feel like a loss. I know it is a loss. I'm not fucking stupid. I know it is a loss, but it doesn't feel like I've lost. When I lost to Ricky Simone, didn't want to speak to no one. Felt depressed. Felt down. This one, it just feels like, well, I don't know if that comes with maturity, perhaps with having a son or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to it. I don't know why it doesn't feel like a loss. Maybe the way it ended, it's fucking shit. But it just doesn't. And that's all I can say on it, really. Yeah,
well, that's it. I think life, probably as you're getting older now as well, innit? You can, like, accept things differently, and, like, having a kid definitely makes a difference, because it's like, fucking no matter how shit I feel over here, I know when I'm here, like with my family or whatever, everything's okay, innit? Like,
I said this to my missus, and I don't know how people will take this, but we all right?
Yeah.
But I think, whereas fighting is still my life now, but before, it was the be all and end all to me. And obviously I was devastated to lose. Like, I'm not saying that I just lost and thought, oh well, don't matter. You know what I mean? I'm devastated. Still am now. But life's like bigger than that for me now. You know what I mean? I got a son that I got to worry about and look after. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm devastated I lost, but at the end of the day, it is a loss. But it is just a loss. It's not the end of the world. It's not like I got other shit in life that still gotta go on, and you know that's my main priority now, is making sure he's all right. And
you're back to reality straight away,
that's
aren't
it.
you?
That's it. It kicks you into reality. Like
it's like, well, you're not gonna. I'm not changing this now because I'm fucking pissed off.
Yeah,
like, you've got to do it, and you.
That's it. I can't lie in bed all day depressed. I got a 9-month-old running, and like my missus is back to work yesterday, so this is her first week back in work after maternity. So let me tell you, 8 hours with a bad leg that I should be resting, chasing a 9-month-old.
He faster than you this week, is he?
Chasing him round the house yesterday. That's when snapped me back to reality. And you know what? I loved it. Like, I loved every minute of it. That was the one. It wasn't a bad thing about the trip. It's not a bad. It's not. I can't say it's a bad thing. It's part of life. But like, I missed him so bad.
I bet, mate.
So bad. Like, I've only ever I had one night away from him since he's been born, and that was when I worked for BT on the commentary. So then to do 7 nights away from him. Like, I was FaceTiming him and stuff every day, but it's not the same. It's like,
oh mate, it's crazy. Like, it was a stag do, so it's like a completely different thing. I had a choice to be this sort of thing. It's not like work, like yours.
Yeah.
But like by the end of that weekend, I was like, I wouldn't want to do another night. Like
honestly, like you asked my old man, and I'm not ashamed to say this. Like, I had a little cry in the medical room afterwards because I was fucking gutted. But when they said to me, "Oh, it might need surgery," that upset me, because the first thing I thought is, I'm gonna have to spend another week out here.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I had to have surgery, like whatever, that's part of the game. I know I signed up for, but it was like, I might have to spend another 4 or 5 days out here. Like, I don't get to see him. And I was like, I'm due to go on holidays in 4 weeks on his first holiday. I'm like, what if I can't go now? What if we got to fucking cancel that? Do you know what I mean? All these things start going on in your head. That's what pissed me off and wound me up more, stressed me out. Once then they told me, like, it's not fractured, then it kind of
you got all that back then, and that's probably a positive then, isn't it?
But yeah, confirm, like, as well, I've seen people saying that I haven't seen. My old man said to me that someone reckons we're lying on Twitter that about the extent of the damage. Like, as you can see, that is it. That's not fractured. That's the pad for the stitch. If it was fractured, I don't think I'd be cutting around in the fucking Nike Jordans.
No, that's it. Or lifting his leg up like that.
Lifting my leg up on the table. It's not fractured. It's just bruised, and we got a cut to take care of.
Bruised, not broken.
Bruised, not broken. That'll be the name of the episode.
We'll have to call it that for sure.
But no, I just want to say big thanks to everyone for their message of support. Instagram, Facebook. I don't go on Twitter no more because I end up arguing with people, but I'm sure I've had a few on there, as well as many negative ones.
I had someone call me a bitch because I commented back to one of your haters, like.
Yeah, no, but honestly, like, Twitter is just full of fucking morons. Like, there's some good guys on there. I've met some really good guys who I class as friends on Twitter, but there's some fucking fools on there as well, so I just don't go on there. But yeah, look, for every one comment that's negative, there's probably 100 that's positive.
Yeah, that's what we got to focus on.
And I'm blessed. You know, I've made a big fucking good lump of money. I'm fairly healthy, do you know what I mean? And I'm home with my son and the missus and the family. I'm here with Joe, obviously, doing
what a life, eh?
Doing podcasts. What a life. Yeah, funny trip. Well, we had a good laugh. Like, I tell you a funny story just before we wrap it up. We were sat there now on Thursday evening for the weight cut. Steph Evans and Johan Harris were fighting on Aries, so he's watching it. Wi-Fi was fucking dog shit in Brazil. That's one thing they do need to sort out. So he's in the reception of the hotel watching them fight. So all week we've been looking on like Uber Eats, because like, what are we gonna eat for food after the fight, because we're not gonna be home till late. And like, they don't do Uber Eats out here. So we sat there watching the fights, and a fucking delivery driver brings a McDonald's in. So he was like, Tank, look, they do McDonald's. And I was like, they do McDonald's? I was like, see this, but there's the delivery driver. So the delivery driver's chatting away now to the fucking receptionist. Guess who comes down to collect the fucking McDonald's? Only DC.
Was it? Yeah.
DC struts in like on the slide of the reception, grabs his McDonald's and like tries to sneak off, and we're like, whoa, DC. Like, he's like, where the fuck do you get that from? He's like, download this app. He's like, you can order it on there. But then we downloaded the app. McDonald's was shut. We ordered this pizza after the fight, and I'm not exaggerating when I say it's probably the fucking worst pizza I've ever had in my life. So.
Brazilians aren't really known for their pizza, are they? Great
place, lovely people, lovely weather, terrible Wi-Fi, terrible pizza, and terrible doctors.
Yeah, I agree.
The hospital doctor was good. The fight side doctor, sort your life out, brother.
They could do with some little like hand X-raying for tools or something, shouldn't they?
Yeah, well, he must have fucking Superman vision. He's telling me if it was fractured looking at it, but there we go. That's life. We won up on about it. It was a good. We had a despite the result. We had a good trip, and you live and learn. It's another one in the books. It's another chapter in the book, as they say.
Back to sunny Wales now, anyway.
Back to Wales.
Living the dream.
Back to living the dream, and back to shooting the best podcast
in Wales.
In Gwent.
Yeah, maybe not even Wales at this point. I don't know, but we're getting there.
We're getting there. Right. Thank you all, guys. We got this one's coming out first. Now we got a podcast coming on the weekend with a guest. We haven't had a guest on for a while.
Banger.
We're back. We're gonna have a little bit more spare time now because training will have ramped down a little bit. So we're trying to get a couple more done. Other than that, thank you all for watching and supporting as always, and we'll see you next time.